What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we're here today on the Big Daddy account to get some stuff done. Before we do that though, we got some patrons. Now one of these patrons, I don't know how I missed it, but it was like a couple days ago and apparently I just didn't see it, so that's my bad. We have two patrons today. The first patron is, I'm like 99% sure on both these names, so I feel really good right now. Our first patron of the day is Luke Ward. I'm sorry I missed you before. It's my bad. It's my bad. I blame the email system. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's my fault. But anyways, and our second patron is Darren Foster. So both of you guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it a lot. It means the world to me. It allows me to keep YouTubing all the time, and I love it. I love it much. So thank you guys very much. With that said, we're going to jump into some stuff today. Now, spoiler alert, if you're bored by me talking about things, you might want to skip ahead in the video, because I'm going to talk about something really quick, just an idea I had to kind of help combat the new way the game's kind of working, the new quote-unquote meta released by the devs. So we're talking about that for a few minutes, and then I'm going to jump in and actually get some stuff done. I got to buy some stuff from the event. We're going to 10-star DAS Moge today. I'm pretty excited about that. Swap Sigmund Stone around a little bit and play with him and see how that goes. But with that said, we're going to jump into what my little idea here was. So, here's the thing. The big problem right now in the game is, it's not necessarily, there's a lot of stuff that needs tweaking, don't get me wrong, but one of the big issues is for people that have played the game for a while. So, like, say, for example, you jump in here. These guys are probably all rocking GVE teams right now. They are. Find somebody that's not. He's not rocking a GVE team. But he does have E3 Ada, and that's kind of the thing I want to get to, is every time a new unit is launched, it immediately becomes best in slot. There's no break-in period. There's no, like, give it a month, give it a few months, give it, 3 or 4 months maybe, before you can actually bring that hero to its full potential and actually unseat the heroes that are already in power. Essentially what happens when a new unit drops is it immediately takes the place of the hero before it. So like, for example, when Aspen dropped, it immediately was better than every other dark hero on its face, no question. You had an E3 Aspen, you beat every other E3 dark hero. When Ada dropped, she beat every other light hero immediately. When Valkyrie dropped, she beat every other forest hero immediately. And here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. To kind of punish the longtime players less, you need a better grind system. Now, I know that's, it's an idle game, it's not about grinding, but it's not necessarily what I mean by grinding. So, for example, we'll take old Siggy here because, I don't know, Siggy's fun. In your gear wheel, you've got gear going all the way around, but there's kind of nothing here in the middle. And this is where I had a thought. And I figured, hey, with this empty spot here, why not put in a new gear slot? But not a gear slot. What this slot would function as is, instead of having like a whole bunch of E4, E5 up to E10 later on in the game to kind of keep the power creep alive, instead of having any more upgrades past E3, what you could do is simply have like a new piece of gear here that, to upgrade that gear, costed a copy of the hero. So if you wanted to take your Sigmund up, you would have to feed it Sigmund copies. What this would do is it would allow, say, if you had, right now, the next hero is supposed to be, I think, a forest hero. I could be wrong there. But say you had E3 Valkyrie, okay? And in the previous way things went, when the new hero dropped, it kind of replaced the old hero immediately. If you had a Valkyrie that, say, was fully maxed out with all these copies, I don't know how it'd work. My thoughts were kind of like, have it like cap out, like you only feed it at max like 12 copies, and then it is a fully maxed, an E3 plus 12 Valkyrie. You can't go higher than that, and have every time you feed it kind of work the way it worked when you're upgrading it the first time. So when you made your 6-star Valkyrie, you unlocked all the Big Daddy passives, the Big Daddy active skill. Then when you went to 7-star, you got this upgraded, 8-star, 9-star, and then 10-star, and from 10-star forward, all you got was stat buffs. Well, the problem with trying to constantly grind stat buffs by, E4s, E5s, E10s, is you end up with just hugely inflated stat pools, and it kind of makes the game boring. So instead, without having to do that, what you could do is simply do something kind of similar to that. So, say for a plus 12 unit, you feed it 12 copies. The first time you feed it a copy, Passive 1 gets a buff. Now that can be a buff to the stats in the passive. It could be a buff that adds something new to the passive. And then when you feed it the second copy, the third copy, and then the fourth copy would buff the active skill. And then it repeats. So round 2, when you're going for your 5th copy to feed it, you would get the second buff on your passive, second buff on active. Then when you're going to the final round, round 3, you'd get another buff on all your passives. Either it buffs the stats or buffs the new buff, whatever it was. And then at plus 12, you would essentially have a hero that had a 6 passive, 6 passive, 6 passive, and the fully upgraded active skill. What that would do, in my opinion, was, it takes a while to get 12 extra copies of an elite hero. It just does. You're not going to drop an event like Ada and have an Ada E3 plus 12 at the end of the event, because that would be insane. Okay, just be crazy. But what that would allow is kind of a grace period between heroes kind of overthrowing the next hero, and I think it'd be a little more kind to the older players. Because if you had your E3 Valkyrie team you've been working on for months and months and months, the new hero drops and just says, Valkyrie sucks. Now, because I'm here, I'm the E3, I completely counter her, I make her irrelevant, she's no longer worth building. If you've built 2 or 3 E3 Valkyries, you're kind of like, well, now I've got to regress these heroes I spent forever trying to try to build this new hero immediately. But if you had an E3 Valkyrie that was an E3 plus 12 Valkyrie, and the new hero dropped, if they just get that hero to E3, your E3 plus 12 Valkyrie should still dookie all over it because it's way stronger. It's got way better passives, the stronger active skill. It would be harder to beat. But what it also does at the same time, saying that you have to get another 12 copies of a hero, is it kind of makes it, in a way, possible for you to take older heroes and make them a little bit more viable at the same time. Things like, for example, Queen. Queen's a pretty relatively common drop, but you don't see E3 Queens in the end game because they're just not useful. However, if you could make an E3 plus 12 Queen way easier than an E3 plus 12 Valkyrie, you might see an E3 plus 12 Queen actually get some in-game shine time for a while before everybody got everything back to E3 plus 12. But it would allow, especially on a newer server, something even like a Fatmu. A unit that no one builds for serious anymore. It's just not really a serious unit. But if you could, you would be able to E3 plus 12 a Fatmu way, way unbelievably faster than E3 plus 12 anything else. And I would say, depending on the hero, if you got it to E3 plus 12 and didn't want it anymore, and you wanted to regress it or get rid of it, instead of you just losing all the copies you pumped into its gear, it would give you hero shards equivalent to the hero you regressed. So for a Fatmu, you would get 12 5-stars in 5-star shard form. Now, if you did the same thing for a Valkyrie, you would get 12 5-stars, but an elite 5-star shard form, because then it would, it kind of keeps on pace with the hero you're upgrading. So that would be kind of my idea. I know it may not make sense to you guys, you might not think it's a good one, but it was just something to me that would kind of help combat the immediate game-changing, insane meta switching that the game kind of puts out now. Every time a new hero launches, it kind of upsets the entire game, because everything gets changed. So that's just my little idea. With that said, though, let's jump into actually doing some stuff. So, boom. I'm probably going to put a timestamp before this so that you can just skip ahead to this part, I guess. But whatever. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and spin some of our stuff up. I've got 1,700 Chinese knots. Now, here's my thoughts. Okay, I could buy, like, a Flame Strike. I could buy a couple shards here. Actually, just one of them. But, to me, event currency is always better than just one hero. Now, the odds of me dropping 10 heroic summons and pulling a Flame Strike are pretty low. I'm not going to lie about that. But also at the same time, it's event currency. A Flame Strike does me no good. 10 heroic scrolls does me some good. It saves me some gems. It allows me to be the heroic scrolls a little easier. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to exchange the max of these as 10. Oh, give me those scrollages. We're going to scroll down to this area down here. We're going to buy the Withered Armor. It's a really solid artifact. I like it. Plus it gives me 20 relics. And I'd rather have this than, like, I don't know, a 5-star elite hero and some scrolls. So I'm going to snag this out as well, get that Withered Armor artifact. Boom, we're pretty much broke on the event stuff now. Pretty much. And up here, here's the thing. I could probably make it to Aspen if I saved up some gems, but you might notice I lost a lot of gems between yesterday and today, and that is thanks to the Aspen dungeon. It popped up, I got stuck on Vesa, can't kill her. She got, I don't know, crazy buff since the last time I fought her, I guess. But during this, I had, like, no kidding, like 5 offers for heroic summons in here. It was just crazy. So I went ahead and bought them all because I was like, come on now, I'm not going to pass those up. And I'm sitting at 759 heroic summons. Now, I don't care. I'm not going to spend them on this event because I'm already dedicated to building Belrain on this account. I have Ada on the mini. I'm not going to double up those builds. It's the same reason I'm building Das Moge here and not Aspen. Aspen's by far the better hero, but because I already have an Aspen, I don't want to just double up the content. So today, we're going to 10-star our Das Moge. I think we've got everything else done. We got the armor out. So today, it's time. It is time. What we need to do is we need to make another 6-star hero here because we have to go to 9, and then we've got to go to 10 with another 6-star. So let's get a 6-star made. Go with this guy here. Boop. Boop. And eeny, meeny, miny, boop, boop, and boop. There we go. 6-star. You're welcome. All right, so with that done, now it's just a matter of we've got 1, 2 copies. That would work. Let's do it. Let's get you to 9-star, bud. Boom. I said boom, boom, and it doesn't really matter which ones I pick here. I've got more Dark Earthrells in the bag, so I'll just use her so I can keep that guy for future 6-star food in case I ever plan to build a second Dark. So let's go ahead and get that selected up. That's going to boost his little ass passive here to gain some more skill damage, but also higher energy every time someone drops an active skill for me in my team, which is good. Get you going up. 9-star. He's looking pretty solid already. I've got a double attack stone on him right now, so we'll see how that pans out. So there we go, and now we've got to get him to 10. I don't have any of the copies right now on me. I do have one in the bag, but I need to buy another one. So I'm going to have to go in here and go into the relic shop. And I know there's someone out there who's like, Wrath, what a bad idea. Like, why aren't you building the best in slot heroes? It's boring. It's boring to build the same thing over and over again. So yes, I mean, I could buy an Aspen and then wait a little bit and then buy my other Aspen, and I could 10-star Aspen instead and be, oh, I'm so much better than with my 10-star Moge. But this is variety. Variety is the spice of lice, peeps. Spice of lice? I don't know, whatever. Give me that Daddy Moge. Get out of here. It's time. It is time for you to be the Daddy Moge of the 10-star nature. Boom. 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 Let's do it. All right, so let's jump in here. Let's drop in the Daddy Moges. Let's drop in the 6-star dude, and let's drop in our 9-star. It's a forest dummy. Get in there. And his attack doesn't seem very strong. 75% of his attack is damage, goes up to 115, so it's not a huge damage drop. But the thing is, he scales super well with skill damage, and he gets a ton of it. And that's kind of why he's strong, is his skill damage just gets intense. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy to the 10-star nature. Oh, looking good, Daddy Moge. 1.274 million HPs, 90,000 attack. And now it's time to get this guy to level 250. So let's go ahead and pound away these levels, get him upgraded, make him strong, make him powerful, make his enemies fear him. And then, I'm also wanting to swap around my my Sigmund stone to do a little bit of testing today. I did this skill damage precision stone the other day, and he was dropping around 340 million damage in PvE. That was, however, with a crew, so I'm not sure how swapping Das Mogen to his place will make a difference. Wow, 110,000 attack at 10-star is not bad. I was debating running a crit stone, but after looking at his stats, even with a crit stone and an Echo of Death, he was at like 35% crit. And I was like, man, that's hard to justify because that's not a lot of chances to crit, you know, and if he doesn't crit, that's kind of wasted because the crit damage doesn't really boost anything if he's not critting. So I figured we'll stick with the attack stone so I got it early, and we'll run the Guilty Crown for a little control immunity, but also gives him attack, and kind of see how that works. Now, I do have two-piece on right now. I assume a full, 4-piece would be better, but whatever. So anyways, 1.6 million HPs, 110,000 attack. Seems pretty solid. Let's go over here to old Siggy, and let's swap his stone around a little bit. What I'm going to look for today is the attack HP Holy Damage Stone, because I've heard a lot of people say it's really good, and I want to see how it kind of stacks up. So that's what we're going to go for. I love that. Don't you just love that when you convert a stone to the exact same stone? I'm not sure why it's a thing, but it's a thing. Double attack would probably still be pretty good, and I could test on that too. Let's do it. Let's just test double attack right now and see how that works for him. 156,000 attack, that's not bad. I decided to run him with the attack passive here, of course, and then this is obviously a given for boss fighting. So we're going to see how E3 Sigmund does with double attack stone. Antler's Cane I still think is one of the strongest artifacts right now. It's really good, especially for a Sigmund, so I'm going to stick with that. There we go. Now, we got some males here. Give me those. Ah, delicious. Delicious. What we need, also, just on the side point, is I need something good to pop up here on this wheel. I've got 144 super chips. I just can't find any copies of anything I want. Like, I haven't seen a Cruz, a Horus, anything kind of pop up that I kind of need to build, so I haven't been spending them, so it's, it's a thing. But let's jump in now, and we want to represent Daddy Moge today. Where's Daddy Moge at? Is he at the bottom? He is. Get on there, Daddy Moge. Welcome to the top. Welcome to the top. And let's do a little bit more of those broken spaces battles, because to me, this is like the most accurate way to constantly gauge your stats. These guys are warriors. I haven't changed anything on my team that I can think of, other than I'll be swapping Cruz out in this case for, well, I guess I did the Aura. The Aura didn't really change him either, though. He actually stayed very close to the same damage. He had like 340 million, I think, here. We're going to throw in old Daddy Moge. We'll lose the Aura here, which might also conflict with his damage a little bit, but we're going to see. We're going to see. Let's jump in. I think everybody, she has the warrior damage artifact on. Everybody's set up, I think, correct. So let's go ahead, make this battle happen. Let's make it happen, and let's see if we can't break our record. I think we were at 811 million damage, was as high as we'd gotten. So we'll take this to round 8 and let Heartwatcher kind of stack her marks, and then we'll jump in and slow it down a little bit and see how everybody's hitting. It also allows Moge to get his stacks built up for skill damage as well, so round 8's generally when you want to start paying attention, unless your heroes die, which Daddy Moge, he's taking a little bit of damage, but I think he'll be okay. Probably. Yeah, he looks like he'll be okay. But anyways, yeah, not really sure how, like I said, taking the Cruce out's going to affect old Siggy. May affect him negatively, may not really change him that much at all. But here we go, we're getting up there, round 6, round 7. When we go to round 8, like I said, then it's time to start taking things slow. Start taking it slow, peeps. So here we go, round 8. We'll see. 2.75 million damage there from Sigmund on the basic attack. Not a crazy high amount of damage. Looks like Moge was dropping about 2 million there on each. Again, that's not bad. That's not bad. 10 million damage over time there. Ooh, 16 and 18 million damage drops from Sigmund's active. That's pretty powerful. 7 and 8 million from Moge. That's also pretty good. I don't know if 10-star Moge will be enough to break us into the billion boys. But if it did, I'd be totally okay with it. I'd be like, yeah, I can deal. Oh yeah, Moge also has some damage over time. Now, it's not crazy high damage over time, at least not that I think it is. But, you know, whatever. Not super important. It's some extra damage. So I'm just kind of hoping. I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot to ask. That's like saying swapping him in is going to give me an extra 200 million damage. I don't know if that's something a 10-star Daddy Moge can do. I mean, maybe. Maybe he can. But I don't know. We'll see. So we're here for. We're here to see things. All right? Basic attacks don't hit very hard on Daddy Moge. Man, Sigmund's counterattack's hitting pretty hard. 21 million from Shia. Not bad. Not bad. His damage isn't hitting super crazy harder by the end of the waves. That skill damage, it might have a cap? I don't know if it does or not. 22 million damage over time on that guy, though. That's insane. I like it. I like it much. So this is unfortunately the last round, so there's not going to be a chance for him to cast his active skill again. But there we go. 863 million. So we did do better. Daddy Moge dropped 100 million damage. Sigmund dropping 421 million damage. That's insane. Now, Shia did drop about 100 million damage less than usual. What do I have on my Shia right now? Am I sure that she's set up correctly? Yes, she's got the right passives. She's got the Nail of Destiny for warrior damage, the block HP stone. But she hit 379 million damage before with Cruce in the team. I'd assume she could probably still hit at least 300 million. And that would break us into the 900 million damage club, right? I mean, Belrain boost attack, and that's one thing also that can go wrong. If Belrain's attack boost doesn't land on Shia, her attack doesn't hit quite as hard. I don't know, but Sigmund definitely got a boost there. 411 million damage. That's almost 500 million damage from Sigmund alone. That's not bad. I just don't think putting Cruce in would, be worth losing the 50 million damage Valkyrie drops. And Daddy Moge did drop 100 million damage. That's not bad. Let's try it again. Maybe we had a low run. Maybe we just had a low run. Let's think. Nothing really I can change here. We have skill damage on the snake. Guilty Crown. Is there another artifact we could maybe run? I'm in thought process mode, okay? We'll just try it again. Like I said, you get variances in attacks. It just happens. The question is, do we want to watch this out a whole bunch of times? Or just kind of next it a couple of times and see where we land? That sounds like a better idea. Let's just next it. I'm not going to lie. I just don't want to sit here and watch saying, oh no, we were so close. 976 million. 426 million damage coming from the old Sigmund monster. 157 from a 10-star Moge. Again, that's not bad. 303 from Shia. We're so close. I can smell a billion. It's right there on the tip of my nose. 426 million damage from Sigmund's a lot. But it's pretty close to what he hit last time. Last time was like, what, 411? So about a 10 million damage difference. Let's go ahead and swap his stone over one more time, and this time go holy damage on it, and see if that makes a difference to the positive. So we're going to go here. We're going to keep going here. He doesn't need a crit stone. That's not really for him. Attack, precision, same attack, skill and precision. There we go. 30% holy damage, 1100 attack, and 22% HP. The HP just makes him tankier, but I'm wondering if the holy damage and attack will change this to the better. If it doesn't, we'll go back to attack, because this is just kind of a Sigmund I want to all-around perform better in PvE. Up to 3.2 million health now. Lost a lot of attack, so hopefully that holy damage makes a difference here. We're going to find out, of course. Nothing else really to change on these guys. I mean, the attack control immunity, I could throw an Echo of Death on him and keep the same attack and gain some crit. Maybe that would help. He doesn't need control immunity. We can try it. He does lose a decent amount of health doing that, though. I don't know, we'll try the Echo of Death and see how it works. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. We shall see. Let's go back in here. We're not going to kill this guy too quick, are we? We are kind of spanking through him. I don't know. Let's go. Let's go. I want to kind of watch this one just because I do want to see what we're hitting around 8-ish. Man, do I want to sit here and watch this all again? Yes, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it all again. And then we'll go to nexting. That's how I'm going to do it. So we'll see. I don't know if holy damage, it should affect his counterattacks as well. But I don't know. It may not be the strongest stone for raw damage. Now, in terms of depending on what you're fighting, it may be stronger because it does give him health, which does kind of allow him to, you know, tank a little better and not die. So in boss fights where your Sigmund has trouble surviving, the holy damage stone might be better just straight up because of that. But for raw damage, I have a hard time believing that holy damage is going to outperform just the raw attack. I could be wrong, and that's what we're here to find out. We're here to see if my Sigmund's dropping 400 plus million damage or if he goes down. That is the question. Daddy Moge's hitting pretty good. 3.4 million. The thing is, like I said, with the Echo of Death, is he doesn't have a high crit chance. So if he doesn't crit, well, there was 16 million on that crit, wasn't it? I could be wrong. I might have misread it. I don't know. Either way, like I said, it all kind of depends. If he doesn't crit, then the extra crit doesn't do anything for him. But of course, if he does crit, it adds more damage. So for this fight, you know, you don't really need the Guilty Crown. See what we can get here. Round 14. 18 million from Siggy. I mean, he hit pretty hard. His counterattacks don't seem like they hit quite as hard as last time. 838 million. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Shia did hit weaker. She was at 300 million, so that's about 50 million missing damage. Moge hit about 40 million less damage, so that right there is about almost 100 million less damage. And Sigmund also dropped in damage. He was doing 411 and then was at 420, down to 381. So, I mean, he lost some damage there as well. But that's why we test it. We're going to run it again because one battle's never enough to tell because differences in crit, just different things, the buffs landing on the wrong people or the right people, it just makes a difference. Did you see that? 1 billion damage. We're in the Billion Boys Club. We've did it. We've done it. We're amazing. It only took me almost 2 years. We're amazing. Oh, man, that feels good. So what was the damage like? Oh, my God. 528 million damage from Sigmund. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that first battle may have been a low result. Because he was at 140 million more damage that round. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Moge brought himself back up to 150 million, so it seems like the Echo of Death, I mean, it's very similar to just having the Guilty Crown on him, because the crits, like I said, he doesn't really scale that well with crit if you don't have like crit stone on him. And like the dragon monster, a lot of people that I said that, the guy that I talked to in Global, and I was like, hey, what do you run on your Moge? He was like, dude, I run a crit stone on mine, but he doesn't use the dragon monster anymore. And that's kind of a reason you kind of want to run crit stones with someone that doesn't have a lot of natural crit, because the dragon does add crit as a passive. So in this case, with no dragon passive buffing him, his damage didn't really change, getting a little extra crit or just running the, the same artifact with no buff at all. Shia up to 300 million damage again. I'm excited. What's her heals? Look at those heals from the bell range. She's like, I will take you all and heal you. And we're at the billion damage club with 3 E3s. I feel pretty good about that. Now, I'm sure somebody out there like, oh, I did it with 1 E3s and 3 1-stars. Well, congratulations, okay? I'm not you. I is not you. And I'm not using the scary cheese, but I still feel good. I still feel pretty good about that. 10-star Daddy Moge, 156 million. That's not bad news. Get him to E3. And I think he can be doing some much better damage. I mean, he'll have a lot more attack to deal with when he gets up there. The attack passive, the extra damage units with higher health than he has. I feel like Das Moge at E3 will definitely be capable of dropping at minimum, I would say, what Shia drops right now should be. I feel like he can definitely do that. So very, very happy with how that turned out. We reached it. We did the billion. We did the billion! That's all I really wanted from today. So it would seem, from initial testing, the double attack stone, while it seems more consistent, 411 million, 423 million. Now, I know the sample size is small, only 2 battles, so, don't take it to the bank or anything. But of the 2 battles we did, the attack stone stayed very, very similar in damage, while the holy damage stone, while it had a bigger variance in damage, it actually seemed to go much better in Sigmund's favor, from 381 million, which wasn't much lower than the attack stone, to an attack that was about 100 million more damage than the attack stone. So I would say, as of right now, preliminary test between the 3 stones I've tested, skill damage precision did the least. Attack was number 2, and then in the best spot right now is holy damage attack HP. As for my testing, maybe you have something different, and that's with the Antlers Cane as well. I don't know if there's a better artifact out there for him right now that might boost his damage further. It could be. In fact, just for funsies, what's another good thing? He gets a lot of attack out of that one, though. Look, just for a second, I want to look at something. Daddy Moge, trade me. Let's give Daddy Moge the precision and the extra skill damage. So he starts out with 165% skill damage, which is nuts. 85% precision as well. And we'll see if this doesn't boost Daddy Moge's damage. And we're going to run I know it's not a good artifact for Sigmund, but we'll run the Echo of Death on him. Not near as much attack, a little bit more crit, I guess, but Sigmund's not really a crit build kind of unit. We'll see how it works. We'll just give it we'll give it 2 tests like we did with the other ones, just to kind of see. It may be like immediately apparent that it's worse, and it may be immediately apparent that it's better. I don't know. So let's jump in. I don't want to watch them. Okay, we've already watched 2 battles at least. So let's just go ahead and next this one out and see how it turns out. Whoa. Not good. Mucho not good-o. Didn't really change Daddy Moge's damage. I mean, he went from 100 million to 150 million before. This case, he's dropping 130 million, so very similar. And Sigmund here, he dropped about half the damage he did last time. So it could have been a low run. We're going to run it one more time, and we're just going to smash through it and just kind of get at least a better than just one snapshot kind of look here. Boom. Ooh, even worse. Even worse. So yeah, I would say Antlers Cane, not the choice for old Daddy Moge. If I had a crit stone, the Punisher staff would probably work pretty well on him, give him 100% crit damage, some more crit. Shia stays largely unaffected between 240 million and 300 million is kind of where she lands most of the time without Cruz. But absolutely, the Antlers Cane seems to be the best in slot artifact right now for Sigmund. So we're just going to go ahead and swap this back. Boop. Actually, we'll just give you back the Guilty Crown because it's more useful in other areas. And yeah, you're welcome. Get back in there with the Antlers Cane. We know it's what you want, Siggy. 100% precision, 100% skill damage. It just works. It just works. But there we go. That's really all I wanted to get done today. We bought some stuff, we talked about some ideas, and we broke the billion damage club, so it's all a good day. It's all a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button and show your support if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe as well and tell your friends about it because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.